So as you may be able to see, we have changed the name of Shattered the podcast to Mark My Words. I'm going to just tell you a little bit today about why we've done that, and I'm going to ask the question, am I still shattered? Because when I first came up with Shattered the podcast, I was in the early days of learning to tell my story, my lived experience story, and I didn't really know what I wanted to communicate, how I wanted to communicate it, and what form it was going to take, because I was shattered. I felt like a windscreen that had been hit by something and had completely shattered my life. I was in pieces. And I'm at a point now where, I still see the world through a shattered lens. I'm not normal. I don't see things the way that other people do. Just like anybody else with any kind of mental illness, we look at the world in a different way. But the thing is, I don't feel shattered anymore. And I want to explain that to you on the pod today. So for the first time, you can mark my words. See what I did there?
Welcome to Mark My Words. Mark My Words is the story of my journey from a place where I was shattered to where I could live again.
When I first began the podcast a couple of years ago, I saw my life as being shattered. So I'm going to use a metaphor that I use in my book, and that is of a windshield. So you're driving along, you're in your car, in your mental health car, and the windshield shatters. And the thing about a shattered windshield is it's impossible to see through. You know that the glass is broken, you know that everything on the other side still looks the same, but you cannot see through that shattered windshield to see what's coming ahead, what's in front of you, what's around you, what to look out for, because you're shattered. You're looking through a windshield that is just completely wrecked. But the thing about that is, I can never fix that windshield. My mental illness is never going to go away, ever. I know that now. 15, 16, 17 years after first being diagnosed. I'm never going to be able to look through that windshield and have it be as clear as it was before it was shattered. But I want to take this analogy a step further, because there's something else in nature that looks like a shattered windshield, but it has very, very different properties. And it's a spider web. If you look at the two, they look very similar. You know, the lines are not necessarily straight or perfect. Yeah, there's a lot less purpose in a shattered windshield. It's fractured. It's unclear. But a spider web, if you look at it, a spider web is never perfect. And the analogy that I want to bring is my shattered windshield is being overlaid by like a spider web. So the thing about a spider web is you can look at it, and if you focus on it, it can be all that you can see. But if you adjust your eyes, if you adjust your mindset, if you adjust your position even, the things on the other side of a spider web can become incredibly clear. Yeah, the spider web is still there and you know it's there, but you can see through to the other side. Unlike a shattered windshield. Shattered windshield distorts and corrupts everything. Light still gets through, but you can't tell what's on the other side of a shattered windshield. But a spider web, something that you can look through. And This is how I've kind of seen my journey of getting better, is that windshield, that shattered windshield, slowly the jagged pieces have been straightened out and sorted, and you can see past them. You can see parts of the things that are ahead. And there's a few things about a spider web that I like so much better than a shattered windshield. In a spider web, there's purpose, there's planning, there's structure, there's purpose. A shattered windshield has no purpose. Nothing good can come from a shattered windshield except pain. But a spider web, a web, glistens in the sun. When it rains, the raindrops don't obscure what's there, but they make it more than. So while I still have my mental illness, while I'm still sitting in a car with shattered glass, that glass has changed. It's become like a web. And I know that I'm never going to be able to see that web is never going to go away. But if I see it for what it is, if I acknowledge it, and I do the work that is necessary, then that spider web doesn't have to be the end of my vision. It doesn't have to be the end of my journey. Shattered windshield makes you stop. You can't drive with a shattered windshield. But a spider web, you can still see what's on the other side. You can still see the things that are ahead of you. It's a weird analogy, I know, but it's one that makes a lot of sense to me. It's one that lets me see my mental illness in a different way. Rather than being shattered and obscured and jagged and broken, the pieces have coalesced into a web, and something that I'm never going to be able to get rid of, but something that has purpose, something that has beauty to it. Now, a lot of people are going to hear the word spider and go, how could you have that analogy? But there's something about a beautiful spider web caught in the sun, in the dawn, when there's dewdrops on it and the sun comes shining through. Yeah, it's not perfect. We don't all want to have webs all around the place. But I would rather see my mindset. I'd rather see my purpose, my life, my future through a web rather than through a shattered glass. I don't know if that's going to mean anything to you. It means a lot to me. And in essence, that is why I've changed the name. Shattered the podcast spoke about who I was a few years ago, but I don't feel like it speaks to who I am now. And that's the reason that we've got the name change. I do hope you'll keep listening in. I do hope that you'll like and share. And I really hope this meant something to you. Alrighty. I'll talk to you again next week. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Mark My Words. I'd like to thank my producer, Meredith Brosnan, and also Torian, Kevin, and Lorraine. And I can't forget the band Adelaide, who allows us to use their song as our theme.